You review it, I review you. This is my partner, Mr. It. Today, as a Patreon request, we'll be taking a look at the Oddity Archive review on Interstitials.
And welcome to the Oddity Archive.
Howdy-ho there, neighbor.
That super educational show that teaches you such valuable tidbits as why you should never shovel snow over the age of 40 while having sex.
How many times must this lesson be addressed before people learn?
Today we're going to take a look at yet another lost art when it comes to TV, at least here in the States, namely the interstitial.
You ever consider that these arts are lost for a reason?
Of course, once the television code was phased out in the early to mid-80s, TV stations began taking full advantage of the potential new advertising time, leaving public service announcements, which generally air during unsold commercial slots, as the final remnant of the code.
The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
FYI tended to deal more with consumer, financial, and basic health issues, and did so in a very light-hearted manner. These messages were hosted by Barney Miller himself, Hal Linden. And before we take a look, I'd just like to say something that I have always wanted to say on this show. Should I call for the good humor man, Barn?
Makes me wonder what kind of other stuff is on this show's bucket list.
FYI, frying your intestines?
Follow your instincts? Me.
Doctors say you can lead an active sex life for as long as you're healthy, which is one good reason to take care of yourself.
If your erection lasts more than 4 hours, don't brag. But of course, our viewers seem to have this bizarre fetish for kiddie stuff.
Because good or bad, it can be amazing what people will show to kids.
Our first topic comes to us by way of the long-defunct Field Communications.
Who?
These were called snippets. Or maybe it's snipettes or something.
They just said it's pronounced snippets.
Snipettes!
Okay, so you recognize that, you just want them to say it correctly.
This series would attempt to plug a recent children's book, usually aimed at 8 to 11-year-olds, by reenacting a key point in the book without spoilers. The reason Hooray for Reading only lasted 10 installments is because it was met with complaints from authors that it was giving away their work for free. And nice to know so much has changed since then. Indeed, does anyone remember such classics as The Bad Times of Irma Baumlein or Life on a Plastic Planet?
Who?
Hooray for Reading followed the same, slightly weird structure each time. Let me demonstrate. I like to review things. I guess you could say I've, formed a certain bond with it.
Were these things ever that creepy?
But I also like to read. Stories like Don't Mime If I Do, in which a mime smokes a lot of imaginary cigarettes.
What the fuck?
Spend some time with us.
You could probably argue that Sutherland Learning Associates were the masters of the kiddie interstitial here in the States during the 70s.
Well, this bit of animation does look fun.
As the title implies, the Kingdom of Could Be You tends to revolve around giving kids ideas as to what career paths to take as adults. And unsurprisingly, it tends not to be too terribly realistic in how it does such a thing.
Kids' entertainment has never really been realistic about their futures.
I mean, it's one thing to want to be an artist, but as any miserable, cynical adult, like me, will tell you, it's quite another to actually get by as one. Well, that and it doesn't tell you that a career change is much easier said than done. Nor does it take into account the fact that you'll probably rack up tens of thousands of dollars in student debt that you'll never be able to pay off. Only to find out that you really weren't all that interested in that new career anyway.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Today's last recurring interstitial is bound to be one familiar to children of the 70s and early 80s. This series was called The Most Important Person. Spoiler alert, it's you, my little Liebchens.
Sounds like a good way to get kids to be self-centered.
Hi, my name's Soft. Welcome to the land of touch.
The land of touch? I don't like to touch. 'cause I just mess things up when I touch them.
Fair enough. This does make it a little too easy.
Well, that's it for today's archive. Join us next time when I launch a petition to ban all accidents. I mean, this has got to stop.
Yeah, good luck with that. This review seems to have two sides to it. One that's more informative, and one that's more MST3K style riffing. And both sides are really well done. I still have no idea why he hides half his face behind a cardboard box, but hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm a reviewer. You review it, I review you.
The most important person in the whole wide world is you, and you hardly even know you. The most important person in the whole wide world is you. Come on, we'll show you.